Hey everybody, welcome my friends. It is Monday. It's Monday night's step 2 in planning out your best year ever. Planning out that successful year. And tonight we're going to be talking about step 2 in the process. Step 1, which was last week, was about really looking back at this past year, looking back at your wins, what you did accomplish, who you did become. And so today we're going to be talking about step 2 in my process and how I plan for next year. And I'm just walking you through the process step by step. So let's get started. And I first want to acknowledge all the people who actually did reach out to me after last week because they really enjoyed the exercise. I had asked you to book some time with yourself, whether that's an hour, maybe a couple of 2 1-hour sessions to put in your calendar to really go back and take a look. And I suggested, pulling up your phone or your tablet, pulling it up and looking through each month. That would help jog your memory as to what you're doing. So we're going to start with step 2. And let me just show you what the worksheet looks like. And if you didn't get a copy of the worksheet, I will make sure that I put a link because this is step 2 of the planning guide. And it's about 3 pages long. And again, it has a journal prompt at the end of it as well. So let's just start. I want you to think about next year. If you were to close your eyes and think about this time next year, what am I going to have accomplished? And the first step in deciding what some of those things are is we're just going to brainstorm ideas. So in the beginning part of that worksheet, and I'm going to give you the link to get that worksheet. To get the worksheet, it is speakandstandout.com/2020 planning. But I will drop the link down below. We're just going to brainstorm. So I don't want you to edit. So I just want you to just take a deep breath in. Don't worry about anything that's going on currently. Don't worry about the holidays and gift giving and wrapping and baking and all that stuff. I just want you just to get yourself grounded and just not worry about any other past year. The last time I did this, it didn't work out for me. So I don't want you to think about all of those things that have happened before in the past. I just want you to concentrate on right here and right now. And you're just going to brainstorm and write free will. So think about some of the things. I just want you to start writing. What do you want to do personally? What do you want to do professionally? Maybe you're in a job, a 9-to-5, and you're like, I want to get out of this 9-to-5. So maybe that's one of your professional goals is I want to get out of my 9-to-5. I want to start my own blank business. What business is that for you? Maybe it's that you want to start your own virtual assistant business, your own graphic design. You want to become a business coach. You want to start using speaking to market your current business. You're going to join the chamber. What sort of things do you want to do professionally? What sort of things do you want to do personally? Now, personally can be vacations. Maybe it's self-care. There's so many different ideas. What places do you want to vacation to? Who do you want to vacation with? Who do you want to hang out with more? Again, don't edit, just brainstorm. Here are the things that I want to do. Last year, not this past year, last year, I had run an experiment, and you might have heard this before. It was started in July, and for the month of July and August, I got a massage a week. So that's a total of 8 massages. I actually did need to use 2 different masseuses in 2 different locations, and just because that was my goal. And that was just a form of self-care. I wanted to see what would happen. And come September or October, I dropped it down to, I get a massage still twice a month. I have at this office that I go to, I just have a standing appointment. Maybe that's something that you want to do. That's part of my self-care. How are you going to take care of yourself? Maybe it's that you're going to have lunch with some girlfriends once or twice a month. You're going to go start your business. Maybe you're going to go out for coffee or take yourself out for lunch, once a week or maybe every other week. Maybe it's time with your kids, some special time with your children. What do you want to accomplish personally? So I just want you to brainstorm these ideas. And then I want to take it even a step further. So as you're just kind of writing down all of these things, I want you then to take it to the next level. And again, we're not editing anything. What new habits do you want to have in place for next year? Maybe you start looking at some of the habits that you currently have. Which ones are serving you? Which ones aren't serving you? Maybe you feel I hear that this is one that I hear a lot from my clients. I just feel like I'm constantly behind. I feel a little overwhelmed. That's usually something that I hear in the beginning of our coaching relationship, because part of my goal is to get them ahead of things. Maybe you're a procrastinator. Maybe you do things at the last minute and you're like, I'm tired of doing things at the last minute. I want to be ahead of things. So maybe you're going to block off some time in January where you're going to get ahead of things. I'm going to get ahead on creating my content. I'm going to start planning out my podcast. Maybe I'm going to start a podcast next year. That's actually on my list of things to do. So just habits. Maybe it's that I want to read every night. My younger sister, typically in the beginning of the year, she will share with me not how many books she's going to read, it's how many pages. And she judges how many pages from Kindle, from her her ebook reader. And she's always got this amazing goal, and she usually does accomplish that. But that comes down to setting the goal and setting the intention beforehand. So what new habits would you like for next year? And don't worry, I'll just give you a sneak peek. I do not believe, if you came up with 5 or 6 different new habits that you want for next year, I do not believe in doing them all in January. So I want you to go, whew, okay. No, you'll do them incrementally. We will stagger those new habits a little bit slower so that then they become permanent. And you're not working on 5 or 6 habits. You're actually just working on maybe one at a time. So I just want to say hello, Sarah, across the pond. Another thing that I want you to start brainstorming on, and Sarah has heard this frequently, is what's your ideal week look like? What does your ideal week look like? Maybe, if you're in business for yourself, how many days do you want to work? What are the hours that you're going to work? How many team members do you have? Now remember, we're not talking about currently. We're talking about in the future. We need to have that goal. We need to decide on what we want. We need to actually see that vision, because we're going to get from where we are currently to where we want to be. Maybe you're I want to be on this many stages, and I don't want you just to say, I want to be on a stage a month. I want to get booked to speak once a month. And I'm going to tell you, so I don't want you just to say 12. Do you know who those 12 are? Do you have a bucket list for your speaking? Who do you want to speak for? I want you brainstorm ideas, and if you're I don't know who I want to speak for, then I want you to think about some of the people in the audiences that you want to serve. Think about who do I want to say that come December of 2020, I want to be able to say, hey, Laurie-Ann, here are the people that I spoke for. Here are the conferences that I spoke at. Here are the meetings that I spoke at, and I've got bookings for the following year. Here's how I got spin-off business. So I want you to think about what your ideal week is like. And I just want to say hello to Sarah and Robin. Good to have you both here. And Sarah says, I want to do more TV. I was on a live TV show and loved it. I got one other client who is doing a lot of TV as well. So Sarah, you're like a natural when it comes to stuff like this. So you definitely should be getting out there and getting on TV a little bit more. And remember, do exactly the same pitch. We want to look at LinkedIn so that we can find, it's about building relationships with TV producers. So I know I could just kind of chatted a little bit about this, but on the next page of the worksheet is what kind of results do you want to say you had this time last year? What kind of results do you want to have? How did you accomplish those results? Again, I just want you to brainstorm ideas. Just free write. Don't let up here that little that negative voice, say, I don't know if that's a good one for you. No editing. So I want to know, what kind of results do you want to get in the next 12 months? Remember, this is like a little wish list. So what kind of results, what do you want to tell me next November, December timeframe that here's what I did? What kind of support did you have in getting those results? Support can come in the form of team members. Maybe you're part of a mastermind. You hire a new coach. You get help around the house. Maybe that's like a housekeeper, gardeners, landscapers. Maybe you decide every time I go to the airport, I'm not going to stress about driving. I'm going to hire a car service that's going to take me from point A to point B, especially when I'm going to the airport. What sort of results and how did you get there? Let's start deciding that now. And let me just share with you what the journal prompt is. The journal prompt is, because this is what I want you to start writing about between now and next week. And this would be great if you actually just wrote and did, participated in this journal prompt every night this week. If I knew that I wouldn't fail and success was inevitable, what would I do next year? If you knew your success was inevitable, what would you do next year? Failure is not an option. It's like you don't have the failure DNA. Everything you touch turns to gold. What would you do next year? That's what I want you to journal on. Hi, Talene. Thank you for joining. And I will be sure to put the link so that you can get the worksheets and the emails that go out. And you'll get you'll get both of the worksheets for step 1, and today's is step 2, and then you're on the email list so that next week you will get step 3 and step 4. So once you do this brainstorming, then I want you just to put it aside. Put it aside for a night. Come back to it the next night. And then I want you just to read the question. Read your answers. Add to it. Do the same thing with each page and each question. I want you just to keep adding to it. And then I want you to do that again. So you're going to do that. You're going to set it aside for 2 nights, and you're going to just kind of pick it back up and reread. You can't cross anything off, and you can't erase anything. So don't be thinking that. But I just want it to spark your memory. Here's another idea on what I want. Here's another result that I want to be able to share with Laurie-Ann come next December. Here's another habit that I want to add to the list. Here's a habit that I want to get rid of. Because then in a couple of days, so after you've done this a couple of times, then I want you to again put it aside, and then you're going to pull out a highlighter. You're just going to meditate for a few minutes, think about next December, and take your highlighter and highlight all the things that, as you read through that list, this is the 3rd night, as you read through that list, yes, this is a definite yes. The stuff that might be a question mark, put a little question mark next to it. But I want you to highlight the yeses, the things that deep down inside, like you can feel, this is an absolute yes, I have to do this. And what are we going to do on step 3? Let me give you a little preview onto next week. We are going to actually be planning, but I'm going to make the planning so easy for you. I'm going to walk you, and I'm going to actually show you how I do this for myself. And it's going to be super easy. So you're going to want to show up with sticky notes, and I will be sending you out a calendar so that you can print this off. You can print off each month. You can do it in just quarters. If you just want to do half the year, you just do half the year. Whatever feels good for you. But we're actually going to plan. So remember, I want you to highlight what feels like a very, very strong yes. These are the things that must be in my year next year. Here are some of the things that I want to accomplish. Here are the results that I want. Here's what I'm going to do for myself personally and professionally, and just keep highlighting them. And I also want you to know that if you want to continue this conversation, if you want to just have a one-on-one conversation where we talk about your results for next year, for your business, if you're trying to figure out how do I get on more stages, Laurie-Ann, feel free to reach out to me. I'll drop a link to book a call so that we can have a conversation about your specific situation. Let's get you more leads. Let's get you more clients, more customers, more recruits. Let's get you a more profitable year. And we'll take it step by step. But it all starts with a phone call first to see if we're a good fit to work together. And I will be more than happy to share how I support my clients in my particular process. So you can book a call with me, and I will drop that link below. So I'm just going to open this up to questions. If you guys have any questions right now, and I am going to make sure that I check the Facebook group where this was shared in. That way I don't miss any questions. There we go. I feel a little out of holiday because I'm dressed literally all in black. I've even got black leggings on. So I'm just checking the group to see if there's any questions. Let me know if you guys have any questions. And I can't believe Christmas is next week. And I'm still going to be doing the Facebook Live on Monday because we're going to do the planning process. Because I think it's really important because it falls into so that the following Monday, we are going to be talking about step 4, and I will reveal step 4 come next week. But, if you missed step 1, feel free to watch the replay. The replays are always, always available, which is one of the things that I just love about doing Facebook Lives is there's just a library of information that's available. Let's see. I'm just going to double check. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If you guys are good, give me some thumbs up. Just say, yep, I'm good. I'm all set. I'm just checking here because I use eCam, so I've got some of the comments right here, and then the rest of them I just kind of look over here in the group, in the Facebook group where it is being posted. Can we receive the calendar electronically as we can add it to a Google Calendar? Yeah, it's going to be the calendar that I would be sending out is going to be electronic. It's just going to be, a map, so to speak. It's just going to look something like this. So that you can just decide, because we're going to have sticky notes because, I always think that we should always have fun with office supplies. And you're just going to be, this way it'll just make it a little bit easier. And as far as adding things to your Google Calendar, then yeah, absolutely. Then add these, you'll add different habits and different tasks that you want or different goals to each of those months. But you and I, Robin, I got plans. We got some plans to be making. Okay, I'm glad that helped. Let's see. let me see, like just double checking in. Just let me know if you guys are all set and you're like, I'm good with questions. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know if this was helpful. Show me some hearts if that, and that's kind of like a digital applause, and then I'll know that you guys are good. But I want you to feel free to share this video with others. The best way to share is not inside Entrepreneurs Making an Impact, but just go to my business page. And from there, you can just find the video and share that to some other groups, especially if you are involved in some other private groups. Feel free to go and share this. And I would say even possibly share step 1, which was last week. And you'll find that on my business page under the live videos tab. So, all right, you guys, everybody, this was meant to be short and sweet. And today was step 2, and we're just brainstorming, reviewing it again tomorrow and the next day. So that means like Tuesday and Wednesday. And then like by Thursday or Friday, I want you to pull out the highlighter and start highlighting the stuff that is a definite hard yes. You guys have a great evening, and I will drop those other links down below.